Yeah, I can't hear her any. Can you hear me, Ashley?
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. I had to reload the session, so let me share again. Do you guys have any specific questions for my lab math that you need help with and we can work on it together?
Yes, I do actually.
Okay, so which
Um,
section?
it's on the mortgage section, 8.7, the cost of home ownership.
Okay, yeah, I'm on this set assignment.
Oh, perfect. I don't know if it'll be the same question, but on mine it's question 13. I
13 is
wonder,
the
yeah.
amortization problem.
Yes.
Oh yeah. So I have a table now. I have a table now describing the amortization, yeah, loan
Mm-hmm.
amortization table. So this the on my table note, this question should be similar, probably the same, should be similar with the question on the assignment. Yeah, we can work on that. The
Perfect.
reason yeah, the reason I did not include in my video because our tests do not have such problem. So let's look at that amortization. Loan amount is given, monthly interest rate is given. Interest rate, so divided interest rate by 12, we have monthly interest rate. And years is 30 years. And PMT is found. So the first payment is $474.15. And how many of them are interest? How many of them are principals? The interest, we gotta we multiply the loan amount by the monthly interest rate to get the interest, and then subtract the interest from the payment.
Okay, can you say that one more time? You said the interest on the interest rate, we multiply what by the monthly rate? If you're talking, I can't hear you.
I can't hear you either.
No.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, for some reason when I share the stuff without me knowing, it automatically just mute me. I don't even know. I will have to share. So I wanna look at my table now, because this problem probably is either the same or similar with the problem you're asking. So let me explain and then we work on the problem in MATLAB Math, okay? So did you hear me earlier? From the given information, loan amount, interest rate, and the years, and we can find the PMT, payment, monthly payment. Okay, so we put the monthly payment, right here for the first billing cycle, for the first payment. And then how do we find this interest? We use the loan amount to multiply by the monthly interest rate. We use the loan amount, 120,000, multiplied by monthly interest rate. That's the interest for the first month. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and the monthly interest rate was it was the
Annual,
that's the annual one, but monthly,
divided by
right?
12. Yeah, divided by 12. Exactly. That's why we have 3, 3, 3, 3, because 12 has a factor 3. Yeah. And we subtract the interest, first month's interest, from the first month's payment. Then the difference would be the first month's principal, right? So that's how do we get that principal, right? And do not worry about the extra payment. You don't really pay extra to get a. Sometimes people want to pay extra, then they get a mortgage paid off earlier. We do not consider that case. So this column all 0. And the last column right here, loan balance. Since original loan amount is $120,000, right? And since the first month you already paid $474.15, you subtract that payment, the first month's payment, from the loan balance, and that difference would be the new loan balance. So you do not owe, by the end of the first month, you do not owe 120,000 anymore. You owe hold on. You actually, my bad. You actually gonna only subtract the principal. My bad. Yeah, you subtract the principal. Yeah, you subtract the principal from the original loan amount. So you get this difference, not the whole payment. I apologize. Yeah, you subtract the principal, the first month's principal, from the original loan amount. Now your loan balance reduced to this amount. Does that make sense, everybody? Yeah.
Yeah, that helps so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. So you do not owe 120,000 anymore. By the end of the first month, you owe $19,776 because you already paid 224 principal, and then the second month you pay the same amount, right? How do you find the interest for the second month? You're gonna use the previous loan amount, like 119,775.85. You use that because that's the balance, multiplied by the monthly interest rate. You got this interest. Yeah, there's a way to programming, but you know it's not the focus of this class. I got this by programming, so when I drag on in Excel, it has all the 30-year amortization. But we don't have to consider that. We only need to know the first 3 months. Does that make sense? The interest of the second month. The monthly interest rate gonna be applied on the previous balance, not the original balance. All right. So yeah, so subtract the second month's interest from the payment, monthly payment. The difference would be the second month principal. And then you subtract the second month principal from the previous means the end of the first month's balance. And once again, your balance reduced because your balance reduced by the amount you pay as a principal. All right. So this number $151.24. That's the loan balance by the end of the month 2, by the end of the second month. And the third month, that's your monthly payment, right? Every month you pay the same thing. And interest for the third month would be the previous loan amount. This one, the one we just got, 551.24. Use that to multiply the monthly interest rate. We have the month 3, the interest for the month 3, and then subtract the interest from the payment. We have the principal for the third month. So we subtract the principal from the previous balance. We once again reduce the loan balance. As you can see, if you keep going, you can see every month you pay the same amount, but the proportion of interest is reducing, right? In the beginning, most of the part goes to interest, less part go to the principal. But over time, you will see most of the part go to the principal, less part go to the interest. For the first few years, majority of the money you pay, they go to the interest. In later years, majority of the money you pay goes to the principal. This way, your balance reduce slower. Does that make sense? They want your balance reduce slower, then they apply the interest rate on a bigger loan amount. They can charge you more interest. That's what's going on. That's the amortization. That's the cost of amortization. Am I clear about that?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So the question on MATLAB Math, this probably, I think I got this from the MATLAB Math, would be similar. Okay, any other questions? Do we have any more people to join us? Let me double check. Yesterday, there was not yesterday, on Monday. On Monday, we have one student, Aiden. And today we have 2. What's going on?
Everyone's been busy, I guess.
They travel?
Yeah, everyone's been traveling or having a good time.
Yeah.
I understand that. Any other questions? We can.
I do. I'm sorry. I have
Yeah,
some
no
questions.
problem. I appreciate your question. Yeah.
Okay. So I just want to. I learn differently, so I just need to make sure that I'm understanding. So I just want to know. Okay, so for loan balance times the monthly rate, that's how I get interest.
Yeah, exactly. The previous loan balance multiply the monthly interest rate gives you the interest for that month. So every month is different because the loan balance is reducing. That's why your interest is also reducing, right? Yeah, this interest, as you can see, my palm is pointed at. We got that interest by multiplying the monthly rate by the original loan balance. But this one, we multiply the interest rate by the previous loan balance when it's already reduced a little bit, right? Yeah, we got
Yeah.
this 249.53. Yeah. Do you
So,
want?
uh, uh,
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
okay. So to find the principal amount, what are we doing to find that from the loan amount?
Principal
The,
is the
we just
payment
put the
minus the interest.
payment.
And
Okay.
we subtract the principal from the loan balance. We got the new loan balance.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
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 How about let's
I get it.
do this together? Yeah. How about let's do this together?
Okay.
Yeah, 13. Let's do it together. You guys help me to calculate. Yeah, I'm not going to switch to my 84 calculator. So how about you guys help me to calculate? Let's see this one.
Okay.
We need to determine the regular monthly payment. Round to the nearest cent. The cost of home is financed with 130,000 20-year fixed rate mortgage at 2.5%. Find the monthly payment and the total interest for the loan. Okay, so the first part we can do that is similar with all other questions, right? Do you have a TID for calculator?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Actually, you okay? Perfect. So do it with me. Let's go to apps, finance, TVM solver. Okay, tell me, what should we enter for big N?
That one I put in 12 times 20, which gave me 240.
Awesome. Exactly. 12 times 20, 240. What should we put in I%?
That would be the 2.5, right?
Awesome. Yeah, just the 2.5. Yeah, just the 2.5, not converting or whatever, just 2.5. Yeah. What about
Okay.
PV, present value? Present value.
That one would be the loan amount, which would be the 130,000.
Exactly, 130,000. Perfect. We skip the PVMT because we're gonna solve for that later. So let's keep going. What about the future value of the loan in 20 years?
Oh, we don't know that one yet, right?
Future value.
No.
So that would be
That's
0.
future value you want to be 0. Yeah, exactly. Future value you want to be 0. And P per Y, C per Y, keep them as 12, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. And then we go up. Yeah, make sure the payment is made by the end of every month. And let's go up to payment, PMT. Make sure it's blinking next to PMT. And then we alpha enter. And let me know what you have.
I got 688.873769.
Yeah. So let's see how do we round it. Round to the nearest cent. So we're gonna enter 688.87, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the first part A. Same with the other problems. Second part, what's the total interest for the loan? Okay, so let's get out of this app. Let's go to the calculation mode. Yeah, total interest for the loan. Let's figure out how much money we have to pay over the 20 years. Okay, so firstly, we use 688. Yeah, we use 688.87. Yeah, enter 688.87. That's the monthly payment. Multiply by 240 because you pay every month for 20 years. So you in total you have deposited 240 payments, right? And then let's see what we have. And we have 165,328.8. That's the total money we have deposited. The exactly. And we're going to use that to minus the money we owe, 130,000, 130,000. And what do you have? I have 35,328.8.
Me too.
That's the interest, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So let's enter
Yeah.
that. 3, 5, 3 to 8, 3 to 8, 8.8. Awesome. So now we're going to prepare the amortization. So if you go buy a house, the lender actually give you a list. That is the amortization. But you know, we know how to do it ourselves is pretty cool. Also, we know how does the, you know, every month I pay this money. You want to be aware how much money goes to interest, how much money goes to principal, right? Yeah, how the lender make money from you. Okay, so so let's see the first payment is the interest payment number, interest principal. Okay, so interest, we're going to use the original loan amount to multiply by annual interest rate and then divide by 12. Does that make sense? Yeah, we are not going to find the monthly interest rate and write it down because I don't really want to write it down. So we are going to multiply the loan amount by annual interest rate and then divide by 12. And we would have the interest for that month. Let's do that. Original loan amount, 130,000. Multiply that by annual interest rate as decimal, 0.025, right? And then divided by 12. Yeah, divided by 12, you will have the monthly interest rate. What do you have? Let's see how we round it. Use the answer from part A to find these answers, round to the nearest cent. Okay, round it to the nearest cent. So I would have 270.83. Do you have the same number? Awesome.
Yes.
And perfect. The principal for the first month. Yeah, the first month you pay 688. Yeah. How much goes to the interest? That much goes to interest. Now how much go to the principal? We are going to use the monthly payment to minus the interest. Okay, let's do that. We use 688.87 to minus 270.83. I have 418.04. Yeah. And let's see what's the loan balance by the end of the first month. Original loan balance $130,000. And we're going to use that to minus the first month's principal. Yeah, the first month you pay this much to principal. So we're going to reduce the original loan amount by 418.04. So we're going to use 130,000 minus 418.04. And the difference gives me 129,581. Enter.
96.
Right? Awesome. Yeah, exactly the same. Yeah, 129,581.96. Yeah. So one thing about this problem is you have to enter all the 9 cells and then submit. You know if you get it right. Yeah. But if you so be very careful. If you mess up one number, it's not gonna be right. And so let's see the second month. What's the second month's interest? How much money of the second month's payment is still 688? How much of them goes to the interest? And we are going to use the monthly interest rate to multiply by this balance. You see my arrowhead, this balance that we just got. Yeah, okay. So you should still have the number on your calculator, right? Yeah, that makes it a lot of convenient. So we are going to use that amount to multiply. Yeah, multiply by the annual interest rate first, 0.025, and then divide by 12. Yeah, that's what I would do. Yeah, divide by 12. It doesn't take too much effort. What do you have? Do you have 269? 269.
96.
Exactly, 96.
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah. And how do we find the principal?
Minus
Monthly payment minus interest.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Monthly payment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me. What is monthly payment? Monthly payment is 688.
88.
88.87 minus 269.96. The difference is 418. 418.91. Yeah, hold on. I wasn't entering. So let me do it again. 418.91. So as you can see, your principal should be go up and your interest every month should go down, even just a little bit. Yeah. Okay, how do we find the loan balance of the second month? We are going to use this loan balance from end of month 1 to minus the principal, right?
Minus the
Yeah.
Mhm.
129,581.96 minus the second month's principal, 418.91, and I got a difference as 129. 129, 163,
163.
163,
5.
05, right? You have the same thing? 05. Yeah,
Yes.
so second month. One more month to go. What about how much money goes to the interest for the third month? Same thing. We are going to use the previous loan balance. That should be right on your calculator right now. 129,163.05. Use that to multiply the monthly interest rate. So we're going to multiply by annual interest rate 0.025 and then divide by 12. And we got the interest for the third month. I have 269.09 if I run it to decimal, to nearest cents, 09. Yeah, when you see the interest going down, that means probably is correct. I mean, nothing is not a sign for any mistake. Yeah, so the principal, we are going to use the monthly payment 688.87 to minus the interest for the third month 269.09, and the difference is 419.78. That's the principal for the third month, right? Okay, so now we know how do we find the balance, the new loan balance, because we are reducing the principal. Yeah, so the principal of the third month 419.78 should be subtracted from the previous balance to get a new loan balance. So we are going to use 129,163.05 to minus 419.78,
78.
and we have 128. Yeah, this time you see it's getting lower and lower. 128, 743, 743.27. Okay, finally, let's check. I hope it's yay! It's correct, right? Yeah, it's a little bit time consuming, but there's only one question in the system, and you will not see this question in the test. But it's good to know. It's good to know how does the amortization work. Yeah, why majority of the money goes to interest the first years, the year, and later in later years most of the money go to the principal. That way, your loan balance reducing slower. Yeah, it's reducing, but the early years is reducing very, very slow. So even the same interest rate, and you still pay more interest. That's the trick. Yeah, I wonder who invented those. All right.
Rich people.
So, the banker, probably the banker. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And any other questions?
No, the rest of them are pretty good too. They make a lot of sense. It's just a lot of work.
Yeah. Do you wanna? So on On Monday when Aiden was here, if you watch the video, yeah, it's there. On Monday we covered fixed installment loan. Fixed installment loan apply to both car loan and home mortgage. So on Monday we covered some question. Half of the time we cover car loan. Half of the time we cover the home mortgage. So if you don't have any question on those, I think you guys are great. Let's move to the next section, credit card. What do you think?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me
Yes, please.
close this one. We can go to the next section. Let me credit card is going to be the last section of this chapter. And our test is going to be next Monday, so you should start to prepare for the review. Let's get started. Credit card. I did not remove. Some other teacher, they wanted to remove this section, but I keep it because I think credit card is very important for your personal financial planning. You buy house, you only buy once or maybe a few times the entire life. By car, you will not buy car every day, but you deal with credit card every day. So really, we should have a very enough knowledge to make a right decision when we deal with credit card. So I keep this section. And the first problem is about the calculation. We skip it, skip that, skip that. I see this every section in this chapter. And okay, let's start from here. Credit scores range from, yeah, how do we know that? Let's give a guess. 500 to, I know the maximum, 800. I'm on 700-ish. So the minimum, let's try 500. With a higher score indicating better credit. Let's give it a try. Oops, no. So the lower score would be, let's try 650. Highest score 850. I don't know, 800. Better credit. Woo! Credit Bureau use data from your credit report credit. Oh, 300? You really? 300 to 850. Let's do it again. 300 to 850. Okay, now we know, right? Yeah, I do not see this information in the guidance note. But it's, you have unlimited attempts. So now we know. Credit scores range from 300 to 850. There's a higher score indicating better credit. Okay, awesome. 300 to 850. And this question. Interest on a credit card is calculated using this formula. This formula-wise, exactly the same with the simple interest. However, the meaning of the variable is different. P here is not principal. P here is the average daily balance. R is monthly rate. Yeah, that's correct. T is 1 month and P is the balance due. P is not a simply balance due. P is the average daily balance. Let's try interest on a credit card is calculated using that. R is monthly. So C, double check. The statement is false. A true statement is interest on a credit card is calculated using that, where R is the monthly interest rate, T is 1 month, P is the average daily balance. In my video, I explained the average daily balance method. That's the method the credit card company to charge you interest. But of course, we want to outsmart the company, right? We don't want to pay any interest. We do not want to pay any annual fee. So we should always pay on time and pay in full. Do not just pay the minimum interest. pay the minimum and end up with, you know, have a lot of debt. And see this statement, payment history is the biggest factor affecting a person's credit score. So this is about credit score. I would say yes, of course, right? Let's give it a try. The statement is true. Otherwise, yeah. Of course, your payment history is the biggest factor affecting a person's credit score. If in the history, in the past, you always pay in full and on time, and you would have good credit. Yeah, I am sharing and I'm recording. Perfect. And let's continue. Okay, the credit card with the transactions described on the right uses the average daily balance method. Yeah, so in my video, I introduced what's the daily balance method to calculate the interest. Monthly interest rate 1.5% is given. The interest is calculated by multiplying that interest by the average daily balance. Calculate part A through D using the statement on the right. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me, I need to find my mouse. And I can, let's see if I'm still unmuting. Okay, everything's fine. So this is what I do. I would recommend you, what do you do? I would recommend you get a scratch paper and do exactly the same thing on a scratch paper. So I would use Excel, okay? Allow me to do that. Where's the sneaking? Right here. Oops. Here. Oh, I don't miss. If you want to try when you work on a homework, totally fine. Okay, so this is what I would do. I copy paste this to an Excel file. Let me get my Excel file. Downloads. My Excel file is right here. This one. Yeah. When we try to find a balance, we understand the concept why this way will give us the daily average balance. Finding the daily average balance is the key. Solving this kind of problem is the key. This is what I do. I would recommend that you draw a table on your scratch paper, and the first column on the table gonna be the dates. All right. Second column on the table is gonna be the unpaid balance. Unpaid balance. And if I double click this, I would have the proper width for each cell. And the third column is gonna be the number of days. I'll explain number of days. And the last column is gonna be the products. All right, so this is what I do, okay? Yeah, on your scratch paper, you should have a table with those 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 columns. Yeah, we start from the first day of this billing cycle. This is April, so the first day, oh no, sorry. This is March, yeah, so the first day is March 1st. March 1st. March 1st. Okay, and then we're gonna enter all the dates on which we have transactions. So March 5th, March 7th, March 12th, March 21, and include the last day of the billing cycle. So we have March 5th, we have a March 7th, we have March 12th. Oh, I accidentally entered March 7th. And this is March 12th. March 12th. And March 21. March 21. And you should have that on your scratch paper. And the last day, March 31. All right? Yeah. Unpaid balance. So the beginning of this month, your unpaid balance is $6,220, right? Okay. So I need to fix the format. Then I could have those numbers rounding to the nearest cents. And you don't even have to do that if you just do manually. Number and convert. And you can see this is 6,220.00 cents, right? Okay. So that's the balance for the first day of the billing cycle. On May 5th, you deposit the payment, $400 credit, right? Means you are paying the company. So my question here is your balance. Balance here means the money you owe the company. So is your balance gonna be reduced or gonna be increased? On March, reduced, right? Exactly, yeah. So how do we find a new balance on March 5th? We are going to use the previous balance to minus 400. Yeah, you're gonna manually to use 6220 minus 400, and then you put that number right here, okay? And on March 7th, you did something, you spend the money, you spend $30, so your balance should go up, right? Yeah, so go how much up? $30 up. So we use the previous balance plus $30. Yeah, $30 up, $30 more balance. You add $30 more, $30 more on your balance. And on March 12th, you spend another $70. So again, your balance go up $70, right? And we're gonna use B4. You don't have to do that manually. Actually, pretty faster than this. Plus 70, right? Another $70 up. And on 21st, go up again. So we're gonna use the previous balance, which is 5920 plus 210 plus 210. Oops, 210. Yeah, and that's the new balance, right? Yeah. So that's the last transaction, last purchase on your credit card on that billing cycle. So we don't have any new this balance gonna stay until the end of the month, right? Yeah. So that's the second column. You should have that column now ready in your on your scratch paper. Now let's look at how do we find the third column. We're gonna count the days, number of days for each balance stay in your credit card. This balance, $6,220, stay on your credit card for how many days? 4 days. Do you agree? So March 1st, yeah, March 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. So that balance doesn't change over the 4 days, right? So that is 4, yeah. And a trick is you can use the 5 to minus 1, you get a 4. And the second balance, 5,820, that balance stay on your credit card for how many days? For 2 days, until it changes again on March 7th, right? Does that make sense? Yeah, March 5th, March 6th, 2 days, yeah. And this balance 5850 stay on your credit card for 5 days. Yeah, to quickly get a number, you simply use the 12 to minus 7. And you can double check this number this balance stay on your credit card from March 7, 8th, 9, 10, 11, 5 days, right? Yeah, 12 on March 12th, it changed again, so only 5 days. And this new balance stay on your credit card. What is 21 minus 12? For 9 days, right? 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, 9 days. And this balance, the last balance, $6,130, gonna stay on your credit card for how many days? You do not use 31 minus 21. What is it?
Is it 10?
Oh, not 10.
Or
yeah, the last one we need to add one more day. Yeah, let's count the Y from 21st, 2nd, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, right? Yeah, because on 31st, the last day, you don't have a purchase, you don't have payment. So this balance stay on your credit card for 11 days. That trick doesn't work for the last one. So be aware of that. Or you know what? Those numbers supposed to add up to 31. You have to be careful. Yeah, those numbers supposed to add up to the number of the days in a month. Yeah, 4 plus 2 is 6 plus 5, 11 plus 9, 20, 20 plus 11, 31, right? If they do not add up to the number of days in a month, something went wrong. So you have to fix it. So far, so good?
Yes.
So
yes.
that's the third column. The last column, products, this is what we do. We are going to multiply. Let me do this first. By C2, whoops, equals, let me clear this one. So equal B2 times, I like to play with Excel. I think it's a very smart thing. I used to learn a macron and now I don't remember any. Macron is like a vertically. This is normally the horizontal. So I'm gonna change those to keep 2 decimal places. Number 2 decimal places. And drag, and you don't have a drag. Okay, let me explain what happened here. So this number, you got this number by multiplying the first balance by the days. So that's the total, the sum of the balances, the first 4 days. And then you multiply this balance by this 2, and you have this. That's the sum of the balances from March 5th to March 6th. And then you multiply this one by this one, and that give you the sum of the balances from March 7th to March 11th. And then you multiply this one by 9, and you got this number. And that number is the sum of the balances from March 12th to March 20th. And then you multiply this by this one, and that's the sum of the balances from March 21st to March 31st. Do you get that?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. And then I'm going to, I can use total or sum. Yeah, doesn't matter. So I'm going to add up. Those products because I want the sum of all the balances on all the days, all the 31 days. Okay. Yeah. So from D2 to, where's my colon? Right here. To D6 close the parentheses. Yeah. So this number is the sum of those numbers, those products. Remember, this is the sum of the balances of the first 4 days. And this is the sum of the balances the following 2 days. And this is the sum of the balances the next 5 days. And this is the sum of the balance in the next 9 days. And this is the sum of the balance in the last 11 days. So if you add them all up, you will have the sum of the balances of all the 31 days. Okay? And then now you are going to find our average daily balance. Very, very important concept. Yeah, simply divide the sum by how many days do we have on that month? 31 days. Ooh, did I do anything wrong? D10. Yeah. Okay. Wow, that's a lot of money. So yeah, that makes sense because averagely it is like that much money. So that's the sum D2 to D6, and that is D10 divided by 31. Okay, so let's go to our system. Let's see how do we enter rounding. The average daily balance for the billing period is round to the nearest cent as needed. Okay, round to the nearest cent, we're gonna have 48. 6015 point 48. It take a little while, right? Yeah, it is a little bit of
Mhm.
a little bit time consuming. That's a once we have the average daily balance, the rest of the problem, the rest of parts of the problem will be easier. Second part, find the interest to be paid. Okay, so that interest paid on April 1st actually is the interest incurred or generated in March to the given billing cycle. We are going to use the monthly interest rate to multiply by the P. Okay, yeah, can we do that? Do you have a calculator? What's your monthly interest rate? 0.015, right? 1.5%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Multiplied by the P, the average daily balance, 6015.48, and we have 90. Yeah. Round the answer to the nearest cent. Okay, so $90.23. 90.23. Okay. Part C. Find the balance due on the beginning of the next cycle. So let's look at the table. The end of the month, you have that much balance, right? Yeah, let's enter that to in the calculator. 6130. Yeah, by the end of the March, your balance is $60,130. But the beginning of April, you don't have that balance. You have that balance plus the interest, 90.23. So we should enter 0.23. Am I clear about this?
Yes.
Yeah, the balance not just the end of the month, the balance. You have to pay the interest. Yeah. Check answer. Okay, minimum. We have to read the instruction, okay? This company says $10 minimum if the balance less than 360. Obviously, our case is way go beyond that. So otherwise, our case is otherwise. That's gonna be 1/36 of the balance due at the end of the billing period. Okay, at the end of the billing period, 6,130 divided that by 36. That's the minimum pay. Let's enter that. Use the answer from the part C. From part C. Hold on. So this is the, you know what, this is an error in a problem. If we use 6,130, we might get it wrong. So we would have to, following the instruction here, use the answer from part C. What's the answer from part C? 6,220, 423, right? Yeah, we're gonna use that to divide by 36, and then round it up to the nearest dollar, 173. 173. So this is a little bit different from the textbook, because obviously the description says use the balance end of the billing cycle, right? And you divide by 36. But in the parentheses, it says use the answer from part C. The answer from part C is the balance due, the balance with the interest. So this is kind of like a little bit different. So we're gonna follow the interest. We're gonna follow the description instruction in the parentheses, okay? And we get it done correctly. All right. There's a few other questions similar. Would be the same, yeah. If you want, you can use Excel. Very convenient. All right, guys.
Thank you.
That's for
Okay.
today.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Feel free to email me if you have any questions. All right.
Okay.
Okay. I'll say good night. Oh, no, good night. Have a good evening. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.